Okay, next I want to talk about creating symbols. For instance, this little car right here, if we make a symbol out of it, we'll be able to animate it with a tween, and we'll be able to make multiple copies of it too. We could have a race of cars here. So what I want to do first is combine everything. Notice all these elements are on two different layers, but I'll select everything, Command A. There we go, everything's selected. Part of it is grouped into object mode, part of it is broken apart, but at this point that's fine. I don't need to worry about that. In fact, if I were to later want to add spokes or something here in the hubcap to make it look like it's moving, it's probably a good idea if these are separate. So I'm going to leave this the way it is, and I'm going to convert it into a symbol. And the way that I do that, I selected everything, modify, convert to symbol, and then I'm going to call it car. And since I know what I'm about to do, I'll call it car green. Okay, I want to save it as a movie clip, and then I'll click OK, and there it is. Now it's all in this kind of super group. One thing that you'll notice is that the wheels came to the front because they are in object mode and the body was not in object mode. So I don't actually want that, so if I'm going to undo that. I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to put the I'm going to select these wheels. Let's see, I'm going to cut them, Command X. I'll get rid of this layer, and I'm here, everything's on one layer. I'll do paste in place, Shift Command V, and then I'll see if I can do arrange, send to back. They won't. Okay. What I have to do then is I do have to group the rest of the car. So I'll do Command A to get everything. Then I'll hold down the Shift key to deselect these wheels. And then I'll make a group out of this. And that will bring the car to the front and put the wheels in the back. And that's simple. It's Command G, or I could do modify group, either one. So modify group. Okay, and that groups all these other elements, and that brings it in front of these two elements. And I wouldn't have to worry about that. If the entire thing was broken apart, I wouldn't have to worry about this, but this gives me the option later to get inside these parts and play with them. Okay, so now I'm going to select everything, all three parts, modify, convert to symbol. I'll call it car green, and I do want it to be a movie clip, and then I click OK. Now I've got my symbol. In fact, if I go to the library and click on it, there it is, car green. Wheel is a separate symbol, ball is a symbol from a previous exercise, and so I've got lots of symbols here in the library. I can even delete this and not panic because here in the library there it is again. And every time I drag the car out, it's referred to as an instance of that symbol. In fact, I can give them different instance names in the properties window. If I go to properties, instance name, front, and then I could click on this one, give it a different instance name, call it back. And see, when I selected that one says back, I selected that one says front. So each of these has a different instance. Now, and they independently operate from each other. Now, if I want to edit these, like if I want a blue car and a red car and a yellow car and I want to have them all race, I need to enter the edit mode of each of these symbols. So I'm going to delete this one. I have a green car. I'm going to shrink it first. I'm using the transform tool. I'm going to hold down the shift key and shrink it here from the corner. There's my green car. Okay. Since it's the same symbol, I can just copy this, Command C. I'm going to give my new car another layer, because if I want to animate several objects, I want to animate them on different layers. So I'll do Command V, and here's my other car. Okay, and then I'll make myself yet another layer and Command V, and now I've got 3 cars like this. Okay, each on a different layer, but they're the same symbol. Now I want to, let's just say that I want to make this a red car. I want a green, a blue, and a red car. Well, this car, if I want to make it red, I have to go into symbol edit mode, and the way to do that is just double click. I'll just double click on it. Okay, and I still can't change the color because this is a group. But you'll notice up here at the top left, I've gone from scene 1 to inside the symbol. It's called car green. But I still can't get at it because this is not broken apart. So I got a couple of choices here. If I were to do Command B and break it apart, it jumps behind the wheel, so I don't really want to do that. So what I'll do is I'll double click and get inside the group. So there's scene 1, car green, and group, and it's very important to look up at the upper left and know where you are in Flash. Okay, so now that I'm in here, I can get the paint bucket, or even, I might just make it a blue car. The fill color is blue. I click on it and make it a blue car, but notice what happened. All of the cars changed color, and that's not really what I want to have happen. Okay, so I'm going to have to do something else. So I'm going to actually go back here to this. If I want to edit a symbol and not change the original symbol, what I need to do is I need to make these other symbols, they need to have different names. So there's an operation called swap duplicate, which will allow me to make these symbols, give them a different name, and change them, edit them so that they don't affect all of them. Okay, because this symbol is called, if you look in the properties, it's called car green. Okay, so if I want to change a car like this front one, I'm going to do swap duplicate. So I've got it selected. I go to properties, and here's the swap button. I click on swap, and it gives me this window here, and there's nothing on here that says duplicate. I just have to know where it is. I go down here to this symbol. That's the duplicate symbol. I click on that, and it gives me a choice to call it whatever I want. Car green copy is not what I want. I'm going to call it car blue. I'll click OK, and I click OK here. And now this is a different symbol. Notice in properties it calls it car blue. That's still car green. That's still car green. This is car blue. What that means is I can now edit this symbol. I can look, I'm up here in scene 1. If I double click, I'm now in the edit mode of car blue. And then to get inside of here, I've got to double click there, and now I'm inside the group. Scene 1, car blue, group. Now I can get the paint bucket, and I can paint that car blue, and I might want to change the fender like that. Okay, and I can go back out here, and then back out here, and there's car blue, there's car green. I'll do the same thing here, make this red. Okay, so I've got that selected. I'll do swap duplicate. Swap duplicate. I'll call it car red. And now this is a different symbol. It's car red. If I go to my library, there they are. There's car green, car blue. Car red looks just like car green because I haven't changed it yet. There's 3 separate symbols now. Okay, so I want to edit car red. I'm in scene 1. I've selected it. I double click, and I'm inside the edit mode of car red. I double click on the group, and I'm inside the group. Okay, now I can get the paint bucket, change the color to red, and click there. Maybe get a darker red for the fender, like that. And now I go back out to scene 1. I've got 3 different cars that have different colors. So that's how you can use layers and symbols, and how you can edit symbols. Next we'll talk about tweening and how to make an animation with these.